I'm back again. It's International Women's Week. I have been really lucky because I've been talking to a lot of influential ladies. They're all very gorgeous and pretty and very intelligent and share a lot of amazing stuff. I hope you have been enjoying all the IGTV in my IG. So next, I have someone who is super gorgeous, super tall, super intelligent, super kind. She does a lot of charity. She's the co-founder of Fuji School. She is the founder of Fujila. She is also the Miss Universe Malaysia, and she is a model as well. And she is Debra Henry. Let's listen to what she has to say, okay? Hi Debra, long time no see. Oh my God.
It's all like all my friends who we see each other once a week and now we never see each other.
I know.
I think I've forgotten how to be sociable. I've just learned to live in my little.
Well, everyone is doing the same, right?
Yeah.
We kind of lost the social skill in a way. But anyway, thank you for joining me. I know I'm not trained to be doing these, but I enjoy because I get inspired by ladies and, girlfriends of mine, and, just more like catching up kind of. So are you ready?
Ooh, yes. No, but I think you do it. I think you do it really well. I mean, especially the work you were doing after when the pandemic, when COVID started last year, and you were 100% full steam ahead, doing amazing things on behalf of the fashion industry. And because of that, you're interacting with so many people and meeting so many people, right? And
yeah, I'm training myself to speak out and to speak properly, like you. I mean, you are so active. Even
for all you know, I'm going to end up interviewing you here.
Well, you are honestly, you are amazing. You are doing so many, what do you call that? You are contributing so much, especially to the refugees, and I think, honestly, you are an angel, giving them education and trying your best to sell. And I can see you are really a very good salesperson in a way.
I try.
Yeah, I mean, great. Well done. Bravo. Okay, let's go. What does International Women's Day mean to you?
So I've said this before, and of course this year there's been so many opportunities to give interviews and to talk about International Women's Day. I love the theme this year, Choose to Challenge, because it really puts I think it allows each individual to be responsible for their lives and their circles. So I choose to challenge a stereotype or a bias in my family or at my workplace or with my friends. And it can be something small, something big. But I think it's nice because it makes people really stop and think about, is there something happening in my life that's not quite right? And it's not quite fair for someone, right? So I think that prompts a good conversation. But for me, I've grown up around very strong women. My family, all my family members are very strong, opinionated, sometimes almost too opinionated women. But I like that it's a time to really stop and appreciate women's contributions. Very often in some of our circles and societies, we think it's fine and we have equality, but I have seen through my work and in many other parts of the world that there are still millions of women who don't. Yeah. So by virtue of just being a girl, they're kept behind. And I think that's a really important fact that we have to remember when we do talk about, female empowerment or equal and fair rights. But I do have to say that I when it comes to the whole, girl power, I think we have to importantly not leave men behind.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes it's scary, right? We were talking about this earlier. It's scary for men. I have so many guy friends who are better don't say anything because I don't know if I say something, I don't know what, I better just keep quiet. And then I just clap. So I think it's super important to not make the conversation too, sometimes when you try to be so inclusive, you sometimes become a bit exclusive. So I think it's super important to make sure that we're able to engage with everyone because it takes everyone to make change, right? So
exactly. So what kind of women inspired you?
I don't have an idol per se, or like this one person that I really say look up to, but I'm inspired by qualities in women, in everyday women. Like I look at you and I think, actually, I always talk about you as a reference, your family, right? When I talk to my friends, I'm like, you know, I'm so sad I'm not creative. I really suck at being creative. But if I look at Mel's family and her kids, her kids have grown up around such creativity. Look at their art, look at how they express themselves, look at how free they are in their minds. And I love that quality. And I think like, how could I make that a part of me, right? So something like that, that's an example of like how I see it. I look at everyday women that I meet through my work, colleagues, friends, and I see little positive traits in them that I really like. And I'm like, you know what, I should be a bit more like that. And I think for me, it's been an exercise in gratefulness. Yeah. Because last year, I remember the start of last year, I don't make resolutions, but my resolution last year was, this year I'm going to be more grateful, because you get so caught up in life and things, and especially in our industry, we sometimes can become a little bit diva-esque, and you get so caught up in all of that you forget to just sometimes appreciate what you have. And I think last year really taught us that. So so for me it's I love that I can look at little things in different women, and be able to recognize it, because it shows that I'm grateful for them. I see goodness in them. I pick up a good quality in them and I go, hey, let me make this part of who I am.
Yeah. Well, honestly, you are creative your own way. Okay, what you are doing with, Fujila. It's amazing. It's a lot of creativity. You can't say no. You are very...
I still admire your like...
Okay, don't worry. It's fine. You have a lot of other kids.
I know.
Fujila children are all very creative as well. Anyway, so let's describe yourself in one word.
Oh my God, this feels like I'm at Miss Universe. Mel, I thought I put away my crown a long time ago. Myself in one word.
Really? You was asked that? I don't remember.
Yalla, what 3 words? Maybe they're a bit more generous. They say 3 words. You gave me 1 word.
Yeah.
I would say, I don't know. What would I say? Maybe like compassion.
Yeah.
And not in an arrogant way, but like, I think that's something that really drives me. I tend to feel a lot for people in situations.
Yeah, I can see that.
So I think when you
care for people.
Yeah. So I think if I look at my life now, a lot of the things that I tend to focus on and put time to seem to be centered around that.
How can men get more involved, in a women's daily life?
Wash the dishes. No, just kidding. Well, firstly, recognizing that most men will have women in their lives in one way or another. I think a lot of it starts with a conversation, something that a lot of people are not very comfortable with. So but it does start with conversation. It's really casual talking about things that matter to people. And I use this word empathy. Empathizing with other people means listening to their problems. If I could give you another example for men, where when you look at a problem, you need to come up with a solution, right? And in order to come up with a solution, you have to empathize with the problem. So you understand why there's a problem and therefore how you can help. So that's kind of the same dynamic, I think, with getting more involved, understanding like your wife, she's had a long day working and now she's coming home to deal with the family and the home. How can you empathize with her and this home environment that you two live in? What can you do? So one is conversation and empathizing. Second thing is action. Sometimes all people want to see is a bit of effort in one way or another. So I would, little small, it's always the small gestures that really count for a long way. And I think just showing an interest is really important. But I would say I would say as a man, especially in positions of where you have positions of power, authority, decision making, look at those, because change needs to happen at all levels, in the household with your children, but also in your companies, and obviously government is a different thing altogether. So if you can make, and we won't go into government because I think about that, but if you can in your company, to me that's really important. When you are a decision maker, if you can change a rule, like something as simple. I was speaking to Hannah Yo last night we were doing a International Women's Day panel session, and she said, childcare, it is still something in this country that we've not sorted out. It's a huge thing, and most positions in government and in private sector are held by men. If you have the authority to put money towards childcare, do it. You know, that's a one simple thing, because it allows more women to come into the workplace. It allows men and women to take shared responsibility in bringing up their kids. And it allows women to dedicate their time then to getting the job done at work and not having to like manage things. And financially, especially with, you know, at a time like now, it matters. So childcare, it's these kind of key things that, you know, but men, you got to be interested first. A lot of times if a guy is not engaged in what it means to do other things that run a household, they don't think that it's a problem. They take it for granted. So yeah.
Also, because I think if the man is not married or, you know, are not family oriented kind of person, it will not help.
It doesn't matter to them. So this is where conversation really helps, showing empathy with the situation and understanding that it's not something you do just for the woman or just for someone else. It helps society function better. It's better for all of us. And I think that's the message that a lot of times gets lost when we talk about female empowerment and feminism and the role of men in this. It's that we all benefit.
Yes.
It allows, by allowing more girls to stay in, or women to get into the workforce, to stay at work, for kids to be cared, the economy grows, our countries become better. We have more educated population, you know, so there's a lot of positive aspects that go beyond just the home.
Okay, next. How do you see women in today's society?
I see women as being able to be whatever they want to be. That's what if you talk about fighting for something, that's what I fight for. If she wants to be a high flyer, leading a country, a big company, go for it. If you want to be a stay-at-home mom and if your dream is to have kids and stay at home and bring them up, go for it. It's to be able to have dreams and be able to have the opportunities to achieve them. So the two words that I always use that help sort of guide me is having a voice and having a choice. A voice to speak up, an environment, a school, a home environment that supports you having a voice, but also the government, especially government, needs to create opportunities for you to make choices in your life, to go to college, university, get this job, be a CEO of a company, be the prime minister of a country. That's also then platforms that need to be there for you. So, yeah.
So what is the one thing that makes you happiest?
Happiness. That's a tough one for me, because I have to be honest, I struggle with that. Yeah, I do. It's like, of course I'm happy. I'm not saying I'm not happy, that I'm depressed. I'm not saying that. But I think for certain people, when you're always trying to like, what's next? Mm-hmm. When you kind of are wired that way, you sometimes struggle to say, hang on a minute, I'm going to press the pause button and enjoy this moment and be grateful. Like that's why my word of last year was great gratitude, right? So to really appreciate what I have and that happiness in what you have. So that is something that I'm still learning, to be more happy in situations, and not like, okay, what am I doing next? What's next? Like I got to achieve more. I got to do more. There's not enough. And that's something I put on myself. But beyond that, if what really gives me a lot of, like, I love spending time with family. I love quality time, holidays, family holidays with my people I love and care for. And that relaxed time. I mean, travel also is a big, it's like my, not say escape, but it's my, it just feeds my soul in a way. Yeah. I think memories, actually, you know what? It's creating memories with people you care about, like through traveling and doing things and experiencing things together.
3 things make a woman strong.
3 things that make women strong. Support system. Chocolate. Well, me.
Chocolate. Really? Chocolate make you strong?
The fun of it. Yeah. Of course, it feeds you on your slightly more emotional days and gives you the strength for the tomorrow. Okay. And My third thing that makes a woman strong, what would that be? I don't know, what feeds her soul. Sometimes, like for me, I love dancing. Like that's something that it's a big release for me. Like reading a good book with friends, like whatever feeds your soul. I think, I mean, we always talk about women having like your best friends, right?
Yeah.
And I, you know, as you get older, you realize how important that is. Obviously choosing the right girlfriends or friends in general to have, but how important that is for you when you go through life, and to have friends that can grow with you is amazing, you know. So yeah, that's really important. And I think more so with mental health being such a major issue nowadays, it is so important to have that support system, because life is hard, whether it's your career, family, personal issues, whatever it is. You need to have people that you can trust, that you can turn to and talk to. So
Quality friends.
Yeah, quality people in your life that you know, add value.
Okay. So what is your favorite movie that has a woman or lady lead?
I mean, I love Hidden Figures. That to me was such a great movie. It's on.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
That was such a fantastic movie. I think this, you know what we've realized so much is that when you think of famous people, like name me 5 famous people that have changed the world, somehow it's always men. And maybe men were the ones who created and invented more stuff in the beginning because they had more opportunity. But it's so nice to read stories about women. Like, I didn't know about the Hidden Figures ladies. I didn't know the roles that women played in such important things in this world. And to kind of discover it and read about it is really, it's really nice to know that.
And I mean, those days women were not, I mean, men are always the one who is out there, and women were not allowed to work.
Yeah, a lot of societies are like that. So even if they are not so patriarchal, even if you have very strong women, the culture just it's just there. And it's really sad, because I've seen it myself. Very often it's not the men, it's very often the women, the mother who will suppress her daughter. And then she does the same thing to her child. So it's a perpetuating cycle. And because you're so stuck in it, it's really hard to get out of that system. I mean, I met one of these families I met when I was doing work in India many years ago. This husband and wife, they had 2 daughters. And I was there with an NGO, and we were visiting them to see how they were doing. And they said, if this NGO did not come in and support my family to start a business and to have more money, both my daughters would be married by now with children. But because, and they would have been probably gotten married off by the time they were 16, 17, 18, you know, and that's all the family knew. That was life. But because they were able to start a business, better financial situation, and then with more awareness, both daughters ended up graduating from university, getting jobs, and moving to the city and being able to take care of their families. So it takes certain things to change outcomes, right? It doesn't happen overnight, but this is where it's so important for governments and NGOs and to get on the ground and to kind of start the conversation and do the work. Because you can't force people to change, but you can show them options. And I always believe that for especially for girls, no family, community, they don't really want to do that to the girls. It's very often the cultural situations that social economic situations, like poverty, no options, no outlets, no money, that continue to push that. So so I think that's that you know, you can really see things change if you put in some effort.
All right, next, what advice would you give to your younger self?
The advice I would have given to my younger self would have been be fearless in your goals and what you want to achieve. Be more fearless and to stick. I think I would have told myself to to be more dedicated to it. Like sometimes I started things and I would I don't know, and I kind of stop it. I think to be a little bit more dedicated and committed to those things that I wanted to try out and do. But to be more fearless would be a way to, because very often you fear failure. People fear failing, but I don't even like using that word. I like, you fall and you get up again, right?
Yep.
And you learn each time. And I think for me today, it's like, it's been those lessons which have made me who I am today. So they always say this quote that goes, adversity, which is difficult situations, pretty much, adversity either builds you or breaks you. And it's your choice how you want, which way you want to go. So
it's okay to fall.
Yeah.
For me, it's okay to fall.
If you see it as negative, then it becomes something you don't want to do. But if you see it as just a life experience, then it's not scary, right? But that's where I think our schools also have something to play, because schools are like, you failed, you made a mistake, it's bad.
Oh my God, yeah, it's bad.
And you make it so negative that a child is like scared about, oh my God, I did something wrong. So how do you have that conversation where, of course, wrong is wrong, right is right with certain things, but how do you have a conversation that like helps kids be more adventurous and explore a bit more? Maybe you can answer that.
Oh, well, my kids went to Chinese school, right? And in Chinese school,
more like,
yeah, it's very academic, and if you don't score 100, you are considered a bad student. That was like, if you're a good teacher, you will try to help him and not trying to press him down. I guess it's very much also the parents have to play a big role. I guess you always have to tell them, that it's fine to not be number one. It's fine to not win,
Absolutely.
So that's me. Next, so what's your favorite quote or words that you live by?
Ooh, man, I should have been better prepared for this. I'm like,
what? Come on, I'm not. You are intelligent, so
oh my God. Like I said, I feel
for you.
when this happens, I feel like I'm literally studying for Miss Universe. Well, I got a tattoo. I don't know if you can see it. Like last week.
Really?
Yeah.
But it's a
there.
Infinity, right?
It's an infinity. Yeah. I got it at the end of last year, and I've always wanted to get a tattoo, but I never did it because I was like, I never knew what I wanted to get, and I didn't want to do something when you're 18 and then you're going to regret it. So it's an infinity, and it's got this word core, C-O-R, which is comes from the word courage.
Okay.
And it's like an old Latin word, core, that means to tell your story straight from your heart.
Wow.
So I thought
number 8, for Chinese,
and also
8 is very good. Yeah.
Very on. So I kind of like that. It kind of means to stay true to yourself, be guided by your heart, and also to speak your truth, right? So in whatever you do in life, to come from that place, which is nice. And also courage, to tell your story. A lot of times people think to be courageous and to be brave, especially guys, they think you got to be like, oh, I'm strong, and I'm like, and it's very like that. They think that noise and being loud is being brave, but true courage is to be you, despite everything around you. So yeah.
If you could have one superpower, what would it be? Why? Superpower.
I mean, the kind of more like, I don't know, part of me wants to like mind control, but
mind control. Wow, that's very deep.
Because then you get things to happen the way you want them to happen. But that's a little bit more dark. So maybe I'll just say I want to fly.
Oh yeah, true. Flying is good.
Flying's nice. I mean, it's you could think of so many things like swimming, I don't know, underwater, like teleport yourself, transport yourself, whatever. But I think flying, it's something about it just is so, I don't know, magical.
Okay. One goal that you want to achieve this year?
I mean, they're personal goals, and then I guess for Fuji, like for our nonprofit and social enterprise, I really want to get both these to like a good place, fundraising, funding wise, the kind of programs we're running with the community, even for Fujila, the jewelry we're making. Like I just want to be able to be in a somewhere I'm happy with, and for the brands, yeah. and for the community. So that's something I really want to like, we've got obviously a plan to achieve it, but it's something I really want to do this year.
Don't you think you're quite established at that now?
We're established, but it's been a very tough year last year financially, right? I think
Especially
for all of
charity
us.
and
For nonprofits, it's been like serious amounts of stress. And even for Fujila, we're a social enterprise, so we need to make profits in order to support Fuji School, right? And it's been hard. So that's the kind of stress that I'm trying to like not have to experience so much of. So getting to a good place where things are more stable, running smoothly, that would be great.
Okay. How can the public help you more or help you guys more?
Well, donate. I mean, obviously a very easy way, the easy way would be to be able to donate. So we actually have on our platform a donate button. If you go to fuji.org, there's a donate button. You can very easily kind of like sponsor a child's education for as little as 30 ringgit a month.
Okay.
So it's the equivalent of pretty much going and having a coffee somewhere. You spend that amount of money. And if people give consistently, we're trying to get people to give consistently, not one-off, but if you can give a little bit every month and sign up to become a recurring donor, it really helps us plan what we provide for the students. So yeah, so I would just really ask people to do that.
Okay, just to share with my followers, what do you do with this money? Like, what is Fujila?
Okay, so Fujila is our business, a social enterprise, and we make jewelry, we make like these kind of necklaces, and we do this with the refugee girls. They work with us, so they've made this, and we basically want to, through fashion and lifestyle accessories, we want to create a conversation about education access, equal education access for all children, and we want to be able to support the running of Fuji School. But we do it through a slightly more fun and playful way. If you donate to the school, that's through the nonprofit, and essentially that money goes towards paying for the running of the school. As you guys know, education costs money, and most of the community we work with don't have a lot of it. So some of them study for free and others pay a very, 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 very small school fees. So all the money goes towards keeping the school running, paying for educational resources, overheads. We hire refugee teachers, pretty much everything that you've experienced in school, whatever we give to the students is covered by 100% from fundraising. And we have 200 students at the school right now.
200 students?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. 200 kids from the ages of 4, kindergarten, all the way up to 20.
You need a lot of money to do that. I have 4 kids and I'm feeling the pain already.
Imagine.
I have 4 big holes in my pocket.
Yeah, I know. So when anyone asks me, like, I'm like, do you have kids? I'm like, yeah, I've got like 200.
Exactly. That's what I tell you. You have you have a lot of children under you.
It's a lot to think about, because you don't want to see a kid. My biggest fear is when kids drop out of school. And it happens to especially to boys and girls, but especially to girls. When they reach about 14, 15, things start getting hard. The school, like what they're studying, becomes harder. You have to study more, and families sometimes need the kids to work to bring in money to the households, and many kids drop out. And then many girls end up getting married early and getting kids. And I'm not saying it's bad to be married if you're above 18, but it's too soon.
Yeah.
And I know had these girls stayed in school, they would not be married with children. So especially when your life is hard, a marriage and kids sometimes makes it even more difficult. So,
exactly, yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of my big fear, right?
Yeah.
When it comes to running the school.
Well, keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
That's amazing. All right.
Thank you for helping. You've always, over the years, like Melinda's, you've done, I mean, for those of you guys, Melinda does tons of fundraisers and always looking at ways to use her power.
My superpower.
To find ways of creating a conversation and raising funds. And that's such a lot of people have a lot of power and they don't do that. So
because we have a voice, and why not use our voice? Even though I'm not rich, I may not have money to give you, Deborah, take my 1 million, take it. I would love to do that, but not yet. you know. And like I told you before, if I have the voice and the money, I will actually do a lot more. I will build houses
Yeah, you were
for the
saying.
homeless.
Yeah.
That's one of my big goal, and
Yeah.
I'm moving towards that.
Wow,
But
that's amazing.
doesn't matter if you're rich or poor, you know, or whatever. You can always offer your help in any way. Your voice, your energy, you know, you can be physically there to help, you know.
Yeah, and I always say this, like a lot of people think, oh, I'm only one person, I can't make a difference. But I've seen it with my own eyes. When you're one person and you change one person's life, that person will change their family's life, their kids' lives, and the effect is like a domino effect, right?
Exactly.
It's never one person, you know. So don't ever think that you're too small to make a difference.
Yeah, I always tell people, if you can make, let's say, a child smile for the day, you're doing a great thing for that child. You know, it will impact their life.
Yeah, and sometimes they remember this, you know.
Yeah. Okay, one last thing, your advice to all the girls out there, especially the younger one, since you are like a teacher.
My advice to girls out there, I know the world we live in right now is a scary, hard place where you don't always feel like you fit in or you belong. You don't always feel like you're good enough or you have enough to be liked, to be appreciated, to be welcomed. And I think this is something I can tell you, but you need to work on it and discover it for yourself, is that that you have everything within you. Like, we all are born with everything within us. We're enough we have everything within us, and we are enough for this world. And you need to believe that about yourself. Yes, we all have to learn and to grow and all these kind of things, but never allow someone to make you feel that you don't belong. And another thing is, confidence builds confidence. We all go through life where we have our insecurities and we have our struggles. So a way of little baby steps forward really, really help. And try little small things that make you smile a bit more, make you feel stronger, and keep doing it. And I guarantee you, one day you'll wake up and you won't recognize the person you see in the mirror. So yeah, that would be what I would say to the women out there. And find people, I can't stress this enough, find people in your life, whether they're male or female, that you can look up to, that you respect, that you can learn from and grow with. Surround yourself with these kind of individuals. And like I said earlier, when we first started, right? Don't be afraid to be yourself. That's, I think, the beauty of all of us, like in this today, it's that we live in a increasingly more and more open world where we need to embrace ourselves for who we are and stop trying to fit in and be someone else. And if you have the right people around you, you won't need to have to change so much to fit in.
Yeah. Fearless, be brave, and have confidence. And believe in yourself.
Absolutely.
Yay.
Courage from within.
Yeah. Perhaps all of us should do a courage tattoo.
Courage from within. And you know what? It's like, I sit here, don't ever think that I'm like Miss Perfect here, that my life is all sorted. We all are learning. It's a journey, huh? So we're all learning, growing. And I think more and more now, like I'm 35 now, and more you realize it's all a matter of perception. So much of lies within this.
Yeah.
And if you change this and you have control over this, it's very different in how you see the world around you.
Exactly. So, anyway, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I hope to see you soon. Yeah. Otherwise, stay safe, and thank you for whatever you're doing, for whoever you're doing for, you know.
Thank you so much. And to the next fashion party.
Oh my God, we all missed that. I will definitely be doing my catwalk show.
I think I forgot how to wear high heels.
Oh, it's okay. High heel is not important for any, formal event. You can wear sneakers with a gown.
Exactly.
Take care.
Thank you.
Yeah, all the best. Big hug, big love.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.